Hi guys, welcome to the 16th day of our remote learning with our math lessons online. So today is Tuesday of our week 4 lesson plan. So you should be making up 5 addition problems with fractions that the denominators are different. Okay, so yesterday we did the ones where they were the same. So today you have to figure out how am I going to make them the same so that I can add. Because remember, when you add or subtract fractions, the denominators have to be the same. Okay, so make sure you pause the video and solve, and then come back and start the video over so that you can watch how I solve them. So the first one you have is 1/4 plus 3/8. So go ahead and pause your screen and solve. All right, so as you can see, the denominators are different. We have 8ths and we have 4ths. So I need to change them to be the same. So I know that I can multiply something times 4 to get 8. So that way I know that I only have to change one of them. So I'm going to change 1/4 to make the denominator 8. So I'm going to write 1/4, and I have to think about what can I multiply by 4 to get 8. And I know that's going to be 2. So to make an equivalent fraction to 1/4, I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. So 1/4 has to be multiplied by 2. 2 on top, 2 on bottom. So 1 times 2 is 2, and 4 times 2 is 8. So 1/4 is the same as 2/8. So I'm going to replace the 1/4 with 2/8. So I'm going to take 2/8 plus 3/8. And now the denominators are the same, so the 8 can stay the same on the bottom. And 2 plus 3 is 5. So you should have gotten 5/8. All right, the next one, same thing. If the denominators are different, you can't add them together, so you have to change it. So the next one you have is 2/6 plus 2/3. All right, so now that you've solved it on your own, we're going to change one of the denominators to make them the same. So I'm going to change the thirds and make them into 6. So remember, if I have to make an equivalent fraction, I have to multiply the top and the bottom by the same number. So I'm going to take 2/3 and I'm going to multiply by something to get 6. So again, I know that 3 times 2 is going to give me 6. So 2 is going to be on the top and the bottom. So 2 times 2 is 4. And 3 times 2 is 6. So 4/6 is the same as 2/3. So I'm going to add 2/6 plus 4/6, because this 4/6 is taking the place of this 2/3 because they're the same thing. So 4/6 plus 2/6 is 6/6. So I can't leave it like that, because when I have the same number on the top and the bottom, that means I have 1 whole. So I'm going to write that it equals 1 whole. So that one should have equaled 1 or 6/6. Alrighty, moving right along. Here's your next one. Make sure you pause the screen and solve on your own first. Now you're trying to get in the hang of it. So 5/10 plus 2/5. All right, so for this one, I'm going to change the 2/5 to be the same as 5/10. So I know that since 10 is going to be a multiple of 5, I'm just going to have to change the 1 here. So 2/5. And remember, I'm going to multiply the same number on the top and the bottom. And I'm trying to get 10, right? So I'm trying to get tenths. So what times 5 is going to give me 10? Well, it's going to be 2. So 5 times 2 is 10, and 2 times 2 is 4. So I'm going to replace the 2/5 with 4/10, and I'm going to add 5/10 plus 4/10. And for this one, 10 stays the same, the tenths. My denominator will stay the same. And then 5 plus 4 is 9. So you should have gotten 9/10. Alrighty, 2 more. So this time I have 4/6 plus 5/12. So go ahead and try it on your own. All right, and then we're gonna do it together. So same thing, I'm going to see that I know that something times 6 is gonna get me 12, so I only have to change the 4/6. So I'm gonna change 4/6 to 12ths. Multiply the top and the bottom by the same number, right? And I'm trying to get 12. So I'm gonna already change my denominator down here to 12, and think about what times 6 is gonna get me 12, and whatever that is, I'm gonna do it on the top and the bottom, numerator and denominator. So I'm going to multiply them both by 2. So 4 times 2 is 8. 6 times 2 is 12. So now 4/6 is the same as 8/12. So I'm going to replace the 4/6 with 8/12, and I'm going to add. So if you haven't done that yet, go ahead and do it now. All right, so for this one, remember my denominator stays the same. And then 8 plus 5 is 13. So my 13 is gonna go on top. Now I can't leave it like this because just like we talked about yesterday, this is an improper fraction and I can't leave my answer as an improper fraction. I have to change it to a mixed number. So I have to take away pull apart the whole there to make my little number bond. So I'm gonna make my number bond and I'm going to take out the 12/12 because that's equal to 1. And if I take 12/12 away from 13/12, I'm going to be left with 1/12. So then my number bond, I know 12/12 equals 1, and then the leftover is 1/12. So I'm gonna get 1 and 1/12 for that one. Ooh, that was a lot of work for that one. All right, good job. Here's your last one. This one's a little trickier because I wanted to give you a little bit of a challenge problem. So you have 3/4 plus 2/3. So how can you change the denominators to make them the same? All right, for this one, I'm gonna have to change both of them because nothing times 4 is gonna give me 3 and nothing times 3 is gonna give me 4. So I'm going to figure out what number can I multiply by both of these to get the same denominator. So I'm going to change both of them, 3/4 and 2/3. I'm gonna multiply them to get the opposite number's denominator. So this one actually for this one I don't have to do that. I can make it 12, right? Because they both multiply to get 12. So what times 4 gives me 12? Well, that's gonna be 3. And then for this one, 3 times 4 is gonna give me 12. So whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom, right? So 4 and 4 is gonna go here, and 3 and 3 is going to go here. So for my class, I know we talked about multiplying by the opposite number, the opposite denominator to get that same denominator there. All right, so then 2 times 4 is 8, and 3 times 3 is 9. So I have 9/12 plus 8/12. So if you haven't gotten this far yet, go ahead and pause your screen and solve. Add those two together. All right, so what I'm going to get, 9 plus 8 is 17/12. And that's an improper fraction, right? So I have to change it to a mixed number. So take away that 12/12 again, that whole number 1, right? And then I have to take I took away 12 from 17. So 17 minus 12 is 15. Wait, no, it's 5. Sorry. 5/12. It's early still. 5/12. And it's almost spring break, right? 5/12. So 12/12 is equal to 1. All right, there's my 1. Anything over itself is 1. And then what's left over is 5/12. So I get 1 and 5/12. All right, guys, good job. That's your last math lesson till next Monday. Oh my goodness. See you then.